Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center and welcome to the world of magic and miracles. It is another remote broadcast, this time from Boynton Beach, Florida, all the way across the country, where I'm visiting my daughter, son-in-law, and two grandsons, Bryce and Isaiah. And I wasn't sure I was going to broadcast this week, but I got the signal to maintain the momentum. And the momentum that has been gathered up and built up through the energies that are coming on the planet and from each one of us and you has been magnificent. And so, like a sports team trying to complete a victory, they maintain the momentum so that the opposition gives up, in a sense, because the momentum has built to such a level that they realize they won't win, that they can't win. I also recognize by broadcasting from here and the week before at my mom's house, there's a change in pattern. And that's the greatest thing that you can experience, is having some change in your routine, some change in your pattern, whether it's the way you drive to work or what time you eat or go to bed. But it almost has to be so big, in a sense, that you don't even know that it's happening, not something planned necessarily. The first thought might be a planning, but then it takes on a life of its own. And through the change in pattern, you grow. You see life through a different lens, a different perspective. Your normal places where you didn't even realize you might have been dependent or set in comfort, like a meal, gives you comfort. Those things are not there. And so you grow because you build new connections for yourself, new awarenesses, and you stand alone in your own magnificence, not dependent on anyone, but fully able to do anything and everything. And the world expands for you. How you see it, limitations fall away, and it's a great feeling. So allow new patterns and watch and see how you change and how you grow through stepping in another direction. What's been built and the energies that have supported this growth is almost unspeakable. I've recently said that we and you have taken humanity to the threshold, to the brink of its magnificence. And each of us are feeling that in our own way. Something deep inside that you have always known, have always desired, has been a part of your destiny, is coming to the front of your awareness. It's overwhelming because it's like having that thing you've always wanted actually coming true, and you can't contain yourself. There's this joy inside you that bubbles and percolates up, and part of you is saying, I knew it, I knew it. And part of you is saying, holy shit, this is incredible. And it keeps growing. And so there's a sense of really not knowing yourself, because this place that we are feeling inside of ourselves is beyond one limited experience in this physical dimension. It's the totality of a being that has existed always, never born, and will never die. And we can't quite recognize that one yet. But it's stripping us of an awareness of the other ones, the other aspects, bringing it all into one. And once again, holy shit, the one being who has always been here, who has never been born and can never die, who is everywhere and everything, who sees it all. And so therefore you have no singular identity. And in that essence, until that full connection, there is a nakedness and a vulnerability, because none of your identity awarenesses can function. They're almost short-circuiting. But that's what's being built. That's what's coming for each one of us. And each will feel it at the level they can receive it. But the energies and the information that have been delivered and that are being delivered have that vibration. It is infinite, ancient, beyond infinity. So that the being you look at is the outer garment of a light that pierces everything. And there we go. an incredible light that dances around, balancing and supporting everything. I've had opportunities to speak to my daughter while I'm here as she raises her two boys. And I said, practice your magic, do some experiments, send a message to Isaiah and see if he gets it. And I said, don't put a time limit on it. Just watch and see. And he did get it. It took a while. But what I wanted her to know was that the world where we live is behind the world that we see with our eyes. And that's our true home. And that's where we do our best work. Behind the scenes, lifting, delivering magic, changing people's states of challenge. And that's the place that we have to live in, the place behind the scenes, our true home, our true origin, our true reality. It's a big step to incorporate that as your actual reality, to walk around living from behind the scenes, totally supported by your own magic and by beings who love you. But the majority of humanity lives from the physical. And their energy is powerful in making that physical reality seem like the true reality. So to walk behind that, to live outside of that, is a step that everyone will make when they're ready. As long as we live in this physical reality as our primary reality, our natural nature will be to react. They go hand in hand. To react, to judge, because the physical reality is a knee-jerk reality. It is void of the perspective of your origin, of your creator. It is knee-jerk. And that's how you'll live in the physical reality. But behind the scenes, everything slows down and there are no knee-jerk reactions. You actually know why something happened before it happened. And you also know you're far beyond any reaction outside of love. Each one of us has a vision for humanity and what we'll bring, and love is the root of it all. It would appear that everyone will become loving, everyone will respect you, everyone will love you, everyone will make you happy. That is what's coming. But what's coming is what I said earlier, that thing in you that sees itself has never been born and never died, ancient and light. And then you will see everyone in the same way. Because as I look at my grandchildren, as beautiful as they are just that, children. And they require love. And they require love in many forms. But they are the button pushers. They push you to react. And there are many adults in your life that do the same. And the only way to help them is by being that being that has never been born and never died, that is the light of the world, so that your buttons are never pushed and you make space for those to come towards your light when they're ready. We have come here to deliver something that's never been here before. And it takes a willingness and a desire to deliver it independent of anyone, to make it your priority, to make living from that reality that I speak of your first thought. And you will actually have the desire of your heart. What we've been made to believe is the desire of our hearts is something in this physical reality, but it never sustains us, never fulfills us, so we can enjoy it. But there's something more that you know, that you might push back just a little bit into the background. But it keeps coming. And you keep feeling it. And maybe you try to incorporate the two as one. But it is the one that allows you to not be attached to the two and allows you to love. The magic is delivered. Everyone has their own way of being, of loving, and of living their life. No two people are the same. No two people see life through the same exact lens with the exact same perspective. So each one heads on their own journey, on their own unique path, which can draw them to certain people who they may find are their non-blood family. Some may find their beloved or their partner because that is what they needed at that time in their life. But even as close as people in those relationships can be, they still operate completely independent in their uniqueness of how they operate this life. Each one in this life is adding things and letting things go, a constant making room and then building their new world from the future. This happens every second of every day, most times without your conscious awareness. It is like that autofocus on your camera, searching for the perfect combination of distance and light to get the best possible resolution as it focuses. One step forward, two steps back, or two steps forward, one step back, changing and growing with each refocus. But as we continue this dance, and we most certainly will, we will begin to realize the bigger picture and the truth of how we are so much more alike than we are different. The likeness has to do with who we are and not what we do and how we do it. What is more important is the things behind those unique traits that we individually display. In human terms, we all have the same blood, and yet we have these different features that make us have so-called different races. There is beauty in the difference, but there is perfection in the commonality. So it is with your spirit. We each have different gifts that we display, but more importantly, is that we all are parts of the one whole. So within the foundation, there is no difference. In our quest to discover this truth, we follow our own unique journey and path to arrive at this great knowing. And the time it takes to arrive is as unique as the billions of people who live on this planet. So those who know these truths wait patiently for those who do not yet know. For those who know also know that those who don't know actually do know. Because it's not something you have to do to know. It is happening to you one little auto refocus at a time. Every second of every hour of every day until wham, like a bolt of lightning flashing in front of you, you suddenly remember for yourself. And that means you have just remembered for everyone else. And now you too will wait patiently for the next one to arrive without judgment and without conditions. This is called love. And because it was done for you, you will gladly do it for someone else so that they can also gladly do it for another. This is the collective journey that rides behind your personal journey. This is the journey that has its roots firmly set in selflessness, whereas the personal journey is many times in part connected to gaining the ability to let go and overcome all selfishness. Two words with the root of self, but one is rooted in giving, while the other has its basis in taking. So each one is moving towards these truths, and we have all required words be spoken to us to help us stay on our path. And even as they may sometimes seem harsh, there is never a doubt of who we really are, and the knowing of that brings honor, respect, and awareness to the one who is making this journey back to that foundational and common truth that you are a piece of the whole, a part of the source, and so is everything and everyone. Now we wait, not with a focus on waiting, but with a focus on each one's arrival, and we apply our gifts and magic from behind the scenes without recognition or thanks. We don't even have an expectation of how it will all happen. All we have is a knowing, and in that knowing, the magic is delivered. And now, may you always know these truths that are common to us all. You are a part of the one source. You are magic. You are loved more than you could ever know. You are that love, and you are never alone. And the magic is delivered. Well, thank you for joining me today. It's great to be with everyone. I know that we all, inside of ourselves, are seeing our true selves and what we've always wanted heading towards us. Open your arms, open your hands, open your heart, and be ready for holy shit. Because you will not recognize yourself. And then you will recognize yourself. And you will give all humanity a perfect life, perfect health, and a magic future. I am David. Thank you.